Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, Doom Productions, home of the No Budget Film School. And if you've watched our videos before, you know that I went to film school. I graduated in 2018, and I have mixed feelings about the experience. Some of the stuff I really enjoyed, some of the stuff I really didn't enjoy about it, but I'm ultimately very happy that I went. And one of the reasons that I'm really happy that I went is I discovered some of my all-time favorite films. I wanted to share with you all some movies that I saw in film school because it was a part of our curriculum, it was a part of the class to study these films. So without further ado, let's start off with Night of the Hunter by Charles Laughton. This is a movie I actually watched at a film class at a community college, PCC. When I saw the movie, I was not in the right headspace. I actually thought it was absolutely terrible. I laughed at it. I thought it was very dated, very cheesy. But I'm so glad that my professor forced us to watch this movie because after taking some time away from the class, after thinking about it more, actually after rewatching it just on a whim a couple more times, the movie really grew on me. A lot of its beautiful cinematography, a lot of the score, the acting, the style of the movie, it really started to grow on me, and I just couldn't get it out of my mind. And it's one of my all-time favorite films now. So Night of the Hunter, that's the first one. Next, we have In the Mood for Love. This is probably the most cliche thing I could come up with. You know, I think most film people know about Wong Kar-wai. If you don't, check out In the Mood for Love. It is this really gorgeous, beautiful, dreamy drama. Up next, Edward Yang's A Brighter Summer Day. This is a 4-hour movie. I think it's Taiwanese. Yeah, it's Taiwanese. And it features a cast of over 100 cast members. It's pretty sprawling, pretty epic, not in a big fantasy Lord of the Rings kind of way, but in another way. Edward Yang is, I think, in my opinion, maybe the best director of directing drama and human drama and telling human stories. And this is a movie that I didn't watch all the way in film class. I actually skimmed through it when I was assigned to watch it. And so I only saw clips of it, but those clips left an impact on me. And so after I passed the class, I went back and I watched the full thing and I fell in love with the movie. Up next, Mirror. I just got the new Criterion Collection copy of this movie. Really, really good movie. Before I saw this movie, I had heard and seen some of Andrei Tarkovsky's movies. I'd seen Ivan's Childhood, Stalker, Solaris. I'd seen a lot of his bigger ones, but I hadn't seen Mirror before. And I watched this, I think, in my film history 2 class, I believe. And, you know, I thought I loved Stalker, but that one did it for me even more. Woman in the Dunes. I didn't see this in film school specifically, but I saw it in a film class I took at a community college. This is a really interesting movie. I don't really want to say what it's about, but all I can say is it's kind of a drama, kind of a horror, kind of a absurdist, surreal, idiosyncratic kind of tale about a woman in the dunes. Up next, we have La Strada. This one blew me away so much. This is the first Fellini movie that I saw, actually. And I hadn't seen anything like it, although I could see its influences on other movies that I really, really loved. I know that Fellini has a lot more movies that are way more popular. I've seen those as well. But maybe it's because this is the first one that I saw that I always come back to La Strada. All right, that was the last of the Criterion movies. So up next we have Goodbye, Dragging In. Another slow cinema type movie directed by Tsai Ming Liang. Really, really interesting drama about the last night that a movie theater is open, which feels kind of relevant right now. I watched a lot of the Asian cinema films in a Hong Kong and Taiwanese cinema class that I took, and a lot of those really left an impact on me. There's just something about the way they pace the story and they handle the characters and handle the story that really, it's something that you don't see in the West a whole lot. And something about this movie, I mean, when I describe it, it sounds kind of boring, but I promise it's not boring. Up next, we have another movie that I watched in my Hong Kong and Taiwanese cinema class 3 times by Shou Xiaoshen. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not positive. This is a movie that is kind of an anthology. It's got 3 different stories, sections or chapters in the movie. One takes place in 1911, another one in 1966, and another one in 2005. It's all about love and the language of the heart and romance in an interesting way. And again, in a way that I think is really different than the way the West covers subject matter like this. Days of Being Wild, another Wong Kar-wai movie. This one is really, really good. It's a period piece. I think it's set in the 1960s, I think in 1960. And it is awesome. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's awesome. I mean, check out all of Wong Kar-wai's work if you aren't familiar with him. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Okay, the last Asian cinema movie that I have, Yi Yi. I need to get the new Criterion collection. I guess it's not new. I need to get the Criterion Blu-ray of this. Again, super long movie, big cast, but very, very good. It's something that should be boring, but is not. In fact, there is a dream project that I've been dying to work on, which is partially inspired by Yi Yi. It really left an impact on me when the first time I watched it, and I highly recommend this one to you all. Hopping over to Shakespearean movies of all things, Prospero's Books. This is probably the single most interesting, different, unique, weird Shakespeare adaptation I have ever seen in my entire life. It's based on The Tempest. It takes a little twist of the tale if you're familiar with it. So I'd recommend reading the play first and then watching this to see how it's interpreted. Very, very weird and crazy, and I like that in movies. And the last one, new German cinema, Yesterday Girl by Alexander Kluge, or Kluge? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's been a while since I've seen it, but from my memory, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Breathless. We covered this in my film history, one of my film history classes, where we were studying the new German cinema. So people like Werner Herzog or Fassbinder, Alexander Kluge. And I had seen all the Fassbinder stuff. I had seen all the Herzog, but I had never seen this guy's movie. And there was something about the style, the way it was put together, that I thought was just really different than those other guys. I'm running out of ways to say how good a movie is, but I'll just leave it at, this movie is really, really good. So that is it for today. I hope you found these film recommendations interesting. I hope you check them out if you haven't seen them. If you have seen them, leave a comment down below what your favorite one is. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe for more filmmaking content. See you guys in the next one.